Hi, this is Ron Moorfield welcoming you to another Enjoy a Better World video podcast. This podcast is the second in our series on the human energy field. In the last podcast, the similarity between the models of the universe of modern physics and ancient, particularly Oriental medicine was discussed. That similarity can be summarized in the idea that the most fundamental building blocks of the universe are multidimensional vibrations, and they become denser and denser to form the world of gross matter that we know with our ordinary senses. Today, we'll take a more in-depth look at the model of the human energy field. The Chinese refer to the basic building block as qi. Other cultures call it by other names. And in fact, in Star Wars, it's called the Force. Whatever the name, this building block consists of two main components. The first component is power, or force. This is the most common way of thinking of qi because the idea of qi was introduced to the West mainly through martial arts. And let's face it, breaking boards and bricks is all about power. The second component is information. It's often called vibration. But I think information is a clearer description. And really, this is the most important component, and the way to understand it is to think of a television signal. A television signal can get to the television in a lot of different ways, and two of them are through a broadcast signal or through a cable. The broadcast signal is extremely powerful. In some cases, it's millions of watts. The cable signal, on the other hand, is extremely weak. So the power is different depending on how the signal is getting to the TV set. But you know what? The power doesn't get you either picture or sound. And what does get you the picture and sound is the information contained in the signal, and the information is identical for both the broadcast signal and the cable signal. The broadcast signal represents the extreme as far as power goes. And a CD represents the extreme as far as information goes, because in a sense, it's nothing but pure information on the disk. So the information component of qi is really important, because it's that informational part that allows qi to manifest as rocks, frogs, flowers, dogs, cats, and human beings. In a sense, you can think of the world as we know it as a giant three-dimensional TV set that plays the channels of information that are in the qi. The descriptions of the human energy field are remarkably similar from culture to culture, and the model presented here is, for the most part, universally agreed to. As with the name qi, the different aspects of the energy field are called different things, but really the ideas are the same. At the most subtle level, human beings are connected to the universe by a countless number of energetic filaments. In Ayurvedic medicine and yoga, these filaments are called the nadis. And these nadis are literally the information connection to the universe. Humans are in a state of constant communication back and forth with the universe by means of the nadis. And actually, individual human beings really are the same thing as the universe. You can think of it like whirlpools in water. They appear to be individual entities, but they're made of the same water. For humans, it's the same. They're made of the same stuff as the universe. From a modern physics viewpoint, at this subtle level, humans are constantly exchanging fundamental particles with each other, with the world, and with the universe. At a slightly denser level is the mental body. As the diagram indicates, the mental body can be detected at a distance from the physical body. It's the world that's created by the ideas or thought forms within your mind. Now, this is a new concept for many people. But I think it's best expressed in the Buddhist notion of the mind as being a sixth sense of perception. Your eyes get a physical impression of an object, but it's really just a collection of neurological impulses. It's the mind that puts these impulses together. It's the mind that says, this is round, three-dimensional, and it bounces, so it must be a ball. A little self-reflection will show you how powerful the mental body really is at shaping our world. In fact, we live in a world of mental abstractions. Take the idea of freedom, for example. This is a very powerful idea, yet it's completely abstract. There's nothing that we can grasp in our hand and say, this is a freedom, in the same way that we can grasp a rock and say, this is a rock. But look at the human effort that's been bound to the idea of freedom. Entire wars have been fought over this basic idea. At a little denser level is the emotional body. As the name suggests, this is the region in which the emotions hang out. The emotional body can be detected a little closer to the physical body than the mental body. Now let me take a second to explain that. The nature of computer screens and diagrams is that these different components of the human energy field look like layers of an onion. But that really isn't the case. They each go all the way into the physical body. But the less dense they are, the further they extend out from the physical body. So the emotional body doesn't extend out as far as the mental body, and the mental body doesn't extend out as far as the nadis. Yet they all permeate the physical body. At a still denser level, you find the physical energy body. The best way to think of this part of the energy field is as an energetic mold for the actual physical body. You can think of the physical molecules in DNA as being poured into this energetic mold to form the human physical body. And of course, at the most dense level is the physical body itself. Subtle energy actually does descend into matter. Now consider for a moment that the Western medical point of view is that the matter and DNA and body comes first, and any energy, like that detected by an EKG or EEG, comes from the body. This is really the opposite viewpoint. It's critically important to understand that when it comes to Qi, subtle energy rules. The fact is that strong emotions can have adverse effects on the human body itself and can be an important factor in disease. In the same way, mental distortions, like those found in what's called schizophrenia, can impact the emotions and the physical body. In the last podcast, I mentioned that physics can't tell us how the multi-dimensional vibrational constituents of the universe figure out how to become rocks and trees and boats and people. And that brings us back to the information component of Qi. The thing that makes you have the physical body you actually have is the informational component of the Qi manifesting through the nadis, through the mental body, through the emotional body, and the physical energy body, and finally into the physical body. You tune in to the channel of your own universal blueprint. And just like a TV signal can be fuzzy and misshapen with lots of static if the information signal is distorted, it's possible for the universal blueprint information to be distorted in the mental, emotional, or physical energy bodies. But more on that in future podcasts. For more information on the human energy field, check out www.enjoyabetterworld.com. Thanks and so long for now.
Άρχισες να λείπεις ξαφνικά